Hello all, welcome back to day 4 session on Python programming. So here in day 4, we are going to continue about BMI calculator. So we are going to add few more features to our BMI calculator. So in the last class, as we discussed, we learned how the operators works, and we also understood what are the different types of operators. In this session, we are going to learn about conditions. So we can also call these as decision making. So what is this conditions or decision making? So whenever we are, in day-to-day life, whenever we want to do some work, we always have some condition. For example, going to school. So you will think today is Monday. If today is Monday, then I'm going to school. If it is Sunday, then I'm not going to school. So here you are putting some conditions. You have some predefined conditions where you will check for that and then you will act accordingly. For example, another example, if it is raining outside, you will carry umbrella. If it is not raining, you'll not carry. So for all your conditions, for all these things, you have an action point. So the same way here in our BMI calculator, so we have that action points. What are the action points? As we discussed in the last session, so we'll be getting the BMI of our body. So whenever we get the BMI of our body number, we have to see whether that particular number is is going to decide whether you are like underweight, overweight, or normal person. So these are the conditions that we wanted to get that in this particular session. So we will just see how to get them. I hope you people are already done all these things, and I'll just explain you about the BMI again. So BMI is body mass index. So this body mass index can be calculated with the help of your body weight and the height. So body weight should be in terms of kgs, and the height should be in meters. For example, if you are 5 feet 6 inches, then 5 feet means 5 threes are 30, means 5 threes are 15, means 150 centimeters. So 150 centimeters plus again 4 more centimeter extra, 4 to 7 centimeter extra. So it will be somewhere around 160 or 165 centimeter if your height is 5.6. So in that way, this 165 centimeter, how to convert that into meter? It is divided by 100. So it will be 1.65 meters. So that's how you can calculate. So you can also use your online converters for all these things, but manually I did it. So you can also use your online converters to do this particular thing, feet to meter. So it is very easy. Okay, so you have to give your height in meters. So after you give the height in meters, we are using some exponents. So last class I explained you about the exponents, base and the power. So whatever the power value is there, so many times you're going to um, do the multiplications, like height into height, so many times. Here we have only 2 times, so we are going to multiply height into height 2 times. That's all. So this way we can calculate the BMI of our body by taking the input from the user. And why float here? Because both height and weight can be in decimal numbers. So for that reason, we are using this float. So whenever there is a decimal numbers, there is a possibility of decimal numbers, then we have to use float so that computer will understand that you are giving a input in terms of a decimal values. So after we calculate all these things, then we have to just display this BMI value. We are already displaying it. Now it's time for us to tell whether you're underweight, you're overweight, or you're normal person. So how do we tell that? So we have something called as if statement. So this is the syntax of this: if keyword space, and you have to give the condition, okay, or expression basically. So the expression will be something like this. uh, Before we even code this, we have to know the BMI chart actually. So what is this BMI chart? So here you can easily understand. So what is the values that you have to give? Say for example, let me just take this. See here, if you just see this body mass index value, if you are 18.5 below this value, then you are considered as underweight. So you will be like very lean, and you will not be having a proper weight for your body. But if you are a normal person, then your index will be somewhere around 18.5 to 24.9. So accordingly, overweight is like more than 25 and less than 29.9. So something like this. So you are able to see this, right? So these values we are going to map in our particular project. So how these values will be mapped in our project? So let us see that. So if the BMI means, it is almost like a scale. So you have a product and you are weighing that. It is something like that. So you have a BMI. If the BMI is less than 18.5, right? So here you have to keep the colon after you put the expression. So the expression is BMI less than 18.5. This is the expression that I'm writing. So if it is less than 18.5, after putting a colon, please click enter. So if you click enter, immediately you will be able to see there is a gap. So this is called as indentation. So indentation is very, very much important in Python. So say for example, if there is no indent here and you are just trying to type, so then it will not enter this particular loop at all, enter this particular condition at all. So I'm going to show you with one of the examples here, then you will be able to understand what is indentation. So I'll just print you are under weighted person, or you are underweight. Simple, as simple as it is. So if your BMI is less than 18.5, then you are considered as you are underweight. So you can see these lines, right? So this is called as indentation line. So whenever we are using if, or whenever we are using while, for kind of loops, or this conditional statements, we should always have this colon, so that this colon will make the computer understand that this is a condition. So after condition, there should be a body for the condition. For example, we have to just think about when it is raining, we have to carry an umbrella. So carrying an umbrella is an action. The same way, this is the condition, and this is the action that we are trying to do. So if you just now run this code and enter the kgs, I'll just enter 50 kgs maybe, and height in meters maybe 1.2. So it's like your body weight is already, like your BMI is already crossing 34, which in this case, this condition is not satisfied, means BMI is not less than 34.7 to is not less than 18.5. So this condition becomes false, and this doesn't enter this body. So after this code, there is nothing, and that's why we are not able to print anything here. Maybe if we just give some condition, or give the values in such a way that if the BMI is less than 18.5, then we'll be able to enter this particular condition and print this particular body, that is you are underweight. So let us try to get one. So maybe I'll just tell it is like 30 kgs, and the person is a little tall, so maybe 5'6". So it's like this, the BMI of your body is 12.32, and there is a lot of other decimal numbers. I'll just show you how you can eliminate these numbers. But here it is 12.32, but here it is 18.5. So 12.32 is less than 18.5. So it is satisfying this condition. So it is entering this particular condition and then printing the body of this particular condition, that is you are underweight, and the same thing is here, you are underweight. I hope you understood this. So now I have printed only one type of condition. So if I want to add more conditions to it, because as you see here, my body mass index table has a lot of different conditions, right? Though normal is there is a value range, and for overweight there is a range. So for all of these I have to put the condition. So how will I put that? So we can put this using LF. So it is like, if my BMI is so much, then I am underweight. If my BMI is between this some range, then I have to print something else also, right? So for that reason, if you have more than one condition, we can use LF statements. LF, this is the keyword that you have to remember. And you can also see I'm just printing where I starting, right? This is the starting of the line, right? So here I took some space for print statement, that is for the body, but since now it is a condition, that I have to bring it back to the initial position of the line. So where I is starting, the same way I am starting E also, like LF also. So now LF BMI is greater than 18.5 and BMI is less than 24.9. So colon, then afterwards print. You are able to see this, right? Print. So print, you are normal. Be here, I'll put this in capital letter. You are normal. So what is this and doing here? For example, so I have this condition. So in my condition, suppose my BMI value is 20. Okay. So this condition is true. So 20 is greater than 18.5. If my BMI value is 20, so then I can just tell like this, like 20 is greater than 18.5. The condition is true. And again 20 is less than 24.9, the condition is true again. So if both of these conditions are true, then the final result will be true. Means it is something like this: whenever you enter the airport, you need to have both passport and visa if you're traveling to a different country. So you have to carry them both. So either one of them, if you miss one of them, you will not be able to board your flight, correct? So the same way it is like this. Now there are two conditions, that two conditions should satisfy, then only the final result will be true. It is like you boarding your flight. So you have passport and also visa. You have visa but you don't have passport, that cannot happen. But you have passport, you don't have visa, again you cannot board the flight, right? So in this case, and is something which both the conditions should be true. So when both the conditions are true, the final output will be true. So when the final output is true, you will be able to enter the condition, like body of the condition, and you will be able to print this particular statement. So the same way I'm going to do one more condition, elif BMI is greater than, to just to tell he's overweight, it should be like more than 25 and less than 29.9, correct? So more than 25 and BMI is less than 29.9. So again, see, immediately after you put the colon and click enter, immediately it will be auto indented. You don't have to particularly indent it. But in case you are not given this colon, and if you just click enter, you will see the cursor will come to the starting of the line, but it don't take any one tab space. This is one tab space. You can just find tab key on your keyboard. So you have to click one tab in that case. So also you have to put this colon. After you put the colon, if you enter, automatically it will give you over here. The cursor will be set to one tab space automatically. Now I am printing you are overweight. And the next thing is obese, right? So for obese, it is more than 30, less than 34.9. So I'm printing the same. Again, there is a condition, elif, right? Elif, if the BMI is greater than 30 and if the BMI is less than how much? So we'll see again 34.9, right? So if the BMI is 34.9, then print you are obese. See here, you are obese. So in this case, you can also think about a fatty person. So they'll be a little obese. With the help of this BMI values, we can understand whether they are obese, whether they are overweight, underweight, normal, like this. And at last, if none of these conditions are satisfied, means it is other than this number, which is not fitting. If it is like other than this number, for sure, it is more than 35 only, right? So in that case, what I'm doing is I'm just printing else. So if else, right? So we have introduced multiple conditions. So you can also use only one condition and else, or you can use multiple conditions and else. So after checking for all these conditions, if the still BMI is not satisfying any of these conditions, then you have to go to else and then print you are extremely obese, right? You are extremely obese. So you can print like this, and later if the BMI is more than 34 or 34.9, so then automatically your program pointer will just navigate your program to this else part, and it'll helps this particular print to get executed. So then you will be seeing this you are extremely obese statement on your console. So let us give some values and see. Let us give some actual values and see how the things works. Okay, so let me give my values here. So I am just 85 kgs, and the height is like 1.74, and if I just tell my BMI value is around 28.075, so it is telling me like you are overweight person. I'm not a normal person, but I'm a little overweight person now, right? So I know now I have to reduce my weight, and I have to stay healthy, right? So this way you can understand what's your health condition, how you are. So based on this BMI values also, there are some health um, things that will affect you, right? So that also you can understand. So like this you can easily understand how this BMI works for you and how's your health. You can just check like this, and you can see this. There is like after decimal point there are a lot of numbers. I just don't want all these numbers, but I want to round this off to only two decimal places. I just want to see only this, like 87.07. Only so much I have to see. So how will I do it? So there is some function called as round. Okay, so now again I just take BMI is equals to, I'll take something called as round off. What is it round I have to do? I have to round the BMI value to 2 decimal points. So these are the arguments it will take, means these are the inputs that will take. So what it should round, so the BMI value is what it should round, and it should round up to 2 decimal places. And I'll just take this as new BMI. Okay, so instead of typing BMI, I have to type new BMI. Okay, new BMI. So this I have to just take it everywhere, be here. So I'm just replacing this new BMI everywhere, so that I am rounding of this particular BMI value to 2 decimal points. And now you can observe, I'm just going to give the same values, 85 and 1.74. You can see here it is rounding to only 2 decimal places. It is 28.08. This is the value that it is giving me. So this looks a little neat, so that it is readable. we don't get confused what it is, right? So in this way we can always round this off to some decimal numbers like this, so it makes our work very easy to read. Okay, and you can also customize this to, only one decimal value or even five decimal values. That all depends on you, but for now I'm just rounding off to two decimal values. Like this you can just round this off and get the outputs like this. So I hope you people understood about the conditions. So we will learn more about conditions and loops in our next session. Until then, you practice this code and we will meet in the next session. Take care. Bye.